So Arlene, great to have you on the show. It really is. So, and we're great. It's really good to partner up, and it's in with Aretha. So tell us about the Brightest Star, please.
So the Brightest Star is my own charity that I set up after sadly losing my own son, Jack. So Tony and I met many years ago. I lost Jack very suddenly, to a cold and flu virus. So this was way before the times of COVID, when people realised that a cold and flu virus was serious. And he went to bed just a healthy little 5-year-old boy 6 days before he was turning 6 at Christmas. Just so excited for his birthday and Christmas Day, and had showed nothing more than a temperature, and sadly died the next day. So I found myself in a situation where, you know, I was with my son every day as a parent as you are, and then he was just taken away so quickly. And I really just wasn't sure how I was going to live without him. You know, he was my daily life, and he was just my whole world. And I just describe it as I just got up one day and someone put a bomb under my life and it changed forever. And I couldn't see living without Jack, and I found it really difficult to find support. So, you know, you go into hospital and you have a child, or you've got a sick child, and you go home with them, but then all of a sudden you go in with a sick child and you come out without them, but nobody tells you the follow-up or what to do, or how are you going to live it, or emotional help. And I really found myself in the depths of despair. So having not been able to find any counselling or any other parents, it was really just a case of someone trying to find somebody that knew someone, and one of the women I knew did know Tony had lost his son, and had Tony agreed to come and meet up with me, and so I did another mum. And I always remember the day that I met her. It was maybe met her about 2 weeks after I'd lost Jack. She was the first person I'd ever saw that had lost a child. And I, at the time, didn't really realise what it took her to come and meet me. But she walked in the door. I don't wear makeup, as you can see. But she walked in and her hair was done and her makeup was done. And I thought, she's still living. Yeah. She's done that. If she can get to there, I can get to there. And we spoke at length. But that was all I needed, was to see somebody still standing. And that really became the moment where I thought, well, if this doesn't exist, then I can't be the only person that feels this way and wants to talk to other parents that have lost children. So we then decided to set up Brightest Star, and the aim was just always, if I can help one person, then I'll have done the job right. And 12 years on, we're still here, supporting families who lose their children of any age, from any circumstances. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. What I found a lot when I tried to get help was there was a lot of red tape. You know, like, your son wasn't sick, we can't help you. Your son wasn't in this hospice, so we can't help you. Or your child didn't have cancer, so we can't. There was always a exception, and there needed to be rules and regulations as to why they could help me. So we've just made it that we'll help anyone, because I know what it's like to pick a phone line up and say, I can't do this anymore, and someone to say, oh, I can't help you, sorry. So we've just made it as very open that way. For the last couple of years, we've also started to help children that have lost a parent, and likewise someone that's lost a husband or a wife, because they were finding themselves in the same situation. You have to fall into categories, and I just don't think that's the way the world should be. So yeah, we set up Brightest Star on Valentine's Day after we'd lost Jack, and we've got an office out in Linwood where we've got an amazing counsellor, Yvonne, so she will see families, and again, all of that is free of charge. We've got memory boxes that are in the hospitals, because again, you know, like, you have this vision when you have a child and you go in and you leave with a car seat. You know, I found myself leaving with, at the time, what had been a Christmas gift bag and Jack's things put in it, his hair stuck with sellotape. Just, when I look back, it was so traumatic. So we have memory boxes filled with love, I say, things that we didn't get, that we would do anything for. So, like, you take hand and footprints, we do that for families. We get engraved onto jewellery. We now work with a company that do 3D casts of the actual child's hand, and I would just love one of them, just to be able to just touch my boy's hand. So we do that, and a lot of work with children. So, like, children won't communicate the way you or I with. Obviously, siblings, you know from your daughter, when they lose a sibling, they can't communicate it the way we do. So we have a play therapist that works with them. And we do a lot of kind of family events now because we found that families coming together to be able to say to your child, you know, like they've lost their brother, sister, they've lost their mum or dad. So we've done a lot of events. David Lloyd have been great with us. And we work in town with a company called Sewer Wellness, and we do wellness retreats for families that we bring either mum and dad on their own or families together.
Fantastic.
And we're just finding ways to support families that are maybe out with traditional counselling, because some people don't want to do that. Some people don't want to sit in a group with other mums and dads and talk about it, whereas I did, and other families do. So we do have that option of support groups, but we bring families together through activity. So Cheryl from Buddy Blooms, they came at Valentine's Day and we all made like a floral piece that we could take to a child's grave. But as part of doing that, we talk naturally about our children and what happened and what we're struggling with, whereas some people might not feel as comfortable doing that, like sitting in this environment. So yeah, I mean, that's just a snippet of what we do. We've got a family ambulance that we paid £180,000 for because Jack had to be transferred from Edinburgh through to Edinburgh because it was York Hill at the time was full, and we weren't allowed to go in the ambulance with him. And I'm very lucky that when I got to the other side, although Jack was never ever conscious, he didn't die in the ambulance, but as soon as we walked in, they said we didn't think he was going to make the journey, and I really struggle with that now. That, you know, there was an hour and a half rush hour traffic through Edinburgh. You know, he was in an ambulance with strangers, you know, like what if he wanted his mum and I wasn't there? And I still struggle with that to this day. So we worked really hard and we didn't think it was going to pull through, but it did, and we made a family ambulance just out at Glasgow Airport at the base, the transfer base, and that is bigger in size and has extra seats to accommodate families to go with their sick children. And the government funded one for the west and for the north, so that was one of our major aims when we started to do this family ambulance, and everything else just came round about it, so it's just like a big juggling act. So yeah, that's a snippet of what we do.
We're talking off camera, and that to me, how you Tony, I know I can see, you know, and obviously we'll get Martin, who's behind camera. He lost his daughter Stephanie as well. I just words.
Arlene said it all there, but the great thing is to be able to talk about it now. I mean, that was the big thing in my day. I remember we couldn't speak about it. And even when we were coming out and neighbours were crossing the road, they didn't know what to say to you. But now, when you hear Arlene speaking there, that's phenomenal. And the tragedy which you've had, I've had, Marty's had with Stephanie, look at the positivity it's come through tragedy. I mean, the things you've been able to do for other people, and we're the same, you know, myself and Martin's the same, we try and do our best for other people as well, but it keeps your son's memory alive as well, doesn't it? And that's so special. You know, I know every day, Tony, I speak to Tony every day, I mean, and I'm sure you'll be the same with Jack. And I remember, Tony, I called him Baba Coochie, but I remember Jack liked Hulk, didn't he? Your little Hulk, I remember that. So these things, but how wonderful is this? Honestly, just to be able to sit and chat, and I hope there'll be somebody watching tonight through your words there, will really, really help them. Honestly, fantastic, brilliant. It's a happy, come on, it's happy, it's happiness, it's happiness. No,
Thank you for sharing.
No, I know, thanks, pal, that's unbelievable.
Honestly, how you put that across.
Your words are magnificent.
It's incredible, and the following you've got, and thank you for allowing us to be part.
No, I know, and as I say, from meeting Tony all those years ago, I mean, the connection was there, you know, just that connection through grief, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it's brilliant. Okay. Good stuff.
Right.